The Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia is known for his lavish living and acquisition of expensive properties, including luxurious yachts, cars, real estate, and art. Well, when you belong to a family with a net worth of over $1 trillion, there's hardly a limit to what you can do with money. Today, let's take a tour of his multi-million-dollar homes. Yamama Palace. In the capital city of Saudi Arabia lies the official residence of the royal family, where the prince is often seen conducting official assignments. What better place to build such a magnificent home than in the largest city in the country? From all over the world, within the country and outside, very important guests are received in this palace, given a prestigious welcome, and hosted amidst grand luxury. At first sight, its intimidating magnificence is a clear statement of immense wealth. Arabian aristocratic architecture is prominent in the dome-shaped center of the edifice. The high walls and the elaborate yet simple carvings on the side of the rectangular-shaped walls. There are also high-paneled dark windows, rounded at the top, which add an exquisite feel to the palace. It gives the illusion of transparency and makes you feel that you can see what's going on inside, but the windows are darkened and give no clue as to what's going on inside. However, even the interior tells a more grandiose tale. The floors of the palace are paved in high-grade Italian marble that reminds you with every step you take that you're in one of the most beautiful palatial residences in the world. A simple gaze upwards will also reveal ceilings intricately carved by the finest workmen. The walls are also finely paneled to up the ante of luxurious rooms. The interior decoration includes thick, lush carpeting in strategic locations, using the best woven rugs and detailed motifs. Elegant chandeliers hang from above, surrounded by intricate carvings embedded into the ceilings. There are also ornate antiques, doors, and several golden signatures all over the rooms. This large residence is where the king currently executes his royal duties, alongside the Crown Prince Salman, who has begun to take up several core duties in the royal court. This royal palace is so large that even grand summits and conferences are held there regularly. One recent event hosted there was the China-Arab States Summit and the China Gulf Cooperation Council Summit in December of 2022. The welcome ceremonies and pictures from meetings at the event gave a chance to see the beauty of the palace, which is usually out of bounds and kept private. China's president, Xi Jinping, as well as the president of Egypt, Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, and Georgian Prime Minister Irakli Garibashvili were in attendance and received a grand welcome in the royal courts. Prior to this event, the King of Saudi Arabia had already hosted the Chinese President Xi Jinping with an equally elaborate welcoming ceremony during a 2-day visit. It included a colorful parade that was executed by uniformed men and an array of the best horses and riders, hosting flags of the countries represented by their leaders. No doubt, the Yamama Palace is indeed a magnificent sight to behold. It contains about 400 rooms, all en-suite, luxuriously finished and fit for royalty. Other palaces. Sometimes the capital city of Riyadh, where the official palace is situated, experiences turbulence and violence due to protests and political unrest. As such, it comes in handy that the royal family has other palatial residences where they can go for refuge and safety. Awja Palace. This simple yet imposing palace is located on the outskirts of Riyadh. In comparison to the main palace, it is more subtle and restrained, yet with an outstanding touch synonymous with royalty. The walls in the inner chambers have pictures in classic frames mounted on the walls. The photographs tell stories of Saudi history, and the king can take guests on a tour from time to time. The carvings on the wall show deep mastery of Arabian architecture, executed by the best craftsmen. The furniture pieces sit grandly, filling up the place in a resplendent manner, and it all blends beautifully with the mosaic flooring, a seemingly archaic touch, yet befitting in an absolutely captivating way. Urga Palace. Yet another palace lies at the center of Riyadh, a beauty to behold in the midst of the hustle and bustle of the Arab nation. It is the Awja Palace, where the flooring, walls, and ceilings are imposing, yet so welcoming. The lush silk carpets appear like they shouldn't be trodden upon, and the rooms are gilded in striking gold accents here and there. Elaborate upholstery and Italian marble are also a signature of this newly built palace. More of the innermost parts of the majestic residence were seen when the palace hosted the then President of the United States, Barack Obama, in 2015. The erstwhile Saudi king, King Abdullah bin Abdulaziz, had just passed, and a new ruler had taken over the throne. President Obama's visit was to pay his condolences, and he was received with a lavish reception. A rich banquet was prepared, consisting of choice selections of foods, including lobster, jeweled rice, and lamb. So much attention was paid to detail that even the Kleenex dispensers were gold and matched with the golden chairs and tables, while the waste bins were just silver. Several other meetings are hosted at the Awja Palace, with VIPs in attendance for important political functions, customary meetings, royal receptions, and cultural festivals. These large meetings are further made possible because of the extensive Majlis al-Shura courts, which are synonymous with Arab nations. These meetings are held in fully rugged rooms, with low sitting spots or grand chairs to ensure comfort. The ceilings are also incredibly high and carved with detail as expensive chandeliers hang in the center. What better setting to meet for discussions involving the advancement of the nation than in such rooms with exquisite ambiance? In addition to these palaces, the renowned prince of the Saudi nation has gone beyond the Arab borders to acquire homes that define grandeur. One of them is the Chateau Louis XIV in France. Chateau Louis XIV. From 2008 to 2011, this extensive luxury residence was constructed by established property development company Mohamad, owned by Ahmad Khashoggi, who bulldozed an entire 19th century castle to set up the structure. It was built in Louveciennes-les-Yvelines on 69 acres of land. This expansive property is no mean feat, as it was built in similitude with the ancient, magnificent palaces constructed centuries ago. As a matter of fact, before this architectural feat, only one of such structures had been built in more than a century. The conception and execution was a daring move that culminated in tremendous success, and today stands as a striking landmark in architectural circles. 3 years, a dozen marble types, 200 workmen, and 15,000 sheets of gold later, the edifice was brought to life. Every day, over 100 men worked on the construction grounds. They were carpenters, coppersmiths, cabinet makers, sculptors, painters, iron craftsmen, mosaic artists, gilders, marble artisans, clockmakers, landscapers, horticulturalists, fibrous plasterers, and roofers. Beginning with the exterior, the mansion is surrounded by the wonders of nature, preserved in its wildness, yet cultured to give a well-manicured, serene look. The lush greenery forms the core complement of the parks and gardens that such French homes are known for, and flower beds birth flowers flourishing in embroidered boxes. The trees are shaped into pyramids in the breathtaking landscape that also houses a labyrinth, stable, and farmhouse. The interior quarters are replete with intensely detailed craftsmanship with marble surfaces, silk upholstery, stonework, ironwork, and commissioned paintings. It reeks of the best of French craftsmanship. In the drawing room, the interior decor in the walls, floors, and furnishing is little compared to the sight when one looks up at the ceiling. A trompe-l'oeil painting gives a surreal feel like there's a colorful flowery paradise hanging yonder. It was inspired by Charles Lebrun's fresco painting for the Chateau de Vaux-le-Vicomte. It took many months to create and had to be done by the best painters in the region. Modern technology meets antique architecture to provide the best experience to the occupants of the quarters. The shutters are mechanized and can be easily opened and closed with the use of simple controls. Within the walls and without, ambient lighting ensures that the grounds are always lit up, leaving no room for lurking shadows. Powerful speakers with sound that can resound throughout the grand residence can be used to play music. Imagine walking in a beautiful garden with the tunes of your favorite song permeating through the air. The technological fittings are complete with reversible air conditioning operated by hydrometric control. Thanks to a specialized system, many of these features can be controlled using a smartphone. These are the luxuries that Saudi's crown prince fans can now enjoy. After acquiring the chateau for a whopping $300 million in 2015, it currently holds the record as the most expensive home in the world. When it was first purchased, there was a controversy regarding the identity of the person who had bought it, until 2018, when whispering birds uncovered the mystery. The anonymous buyer was none other than Prince Mohammed bin Salman. It's easy to see how this residence stands out from any other. The gold-covered doors, outdoor statues, and resplendent fountains are like none other. The entrance door is made in rich oak wood, covered in gold and sculpted to depict a monumental piece from the Chateau de Versailles, which shows the sun god on horseback as a victorious Roman emperor. A wine cellar with high-grade barrels and as many as 3,000 bottles of wine, a squash court, 2 ballrooms, and 2 swimming pools are a few of the other amenities present in the multi-story building. One of the swimming pools even has a spout from the ceiling that can be operated to mimic rainfall. An underground nightclub reveals another aspect of Prince Salman's expensive taste: artworks. The walls are lined with numerous artworks worth millions of dollars. A Leonardo Da Vinci painting, which is now the most expensive painting purchased in the world, is in the possession of the Crown Prince, after he purchased it at an auction for $450 million, almost 5 times the original offering price. One of the most outstanding features of the Chateau Louis XIV is an underwater meditation room embedded in the castle's moat. The chamber is transparent and gives a clear view of the assorted fish swimming around. The chateau even has some Kardashian history, as she was pictured lounging on a sofa in the underwater chamber. It was reported that she was considering the mansion as a possible location for her wedding to Kanye West. The 7,000 square meter home was built to replicate the Versailles Palace, once home to the French royal family. Coincidentally, it is also in close proximity to the ancient landmark. On entering the grounds of the chateau, a domineering statue of Louis XIV, the Sun King of France, stands tall in Carrara marble. It stands watch over the 50-acre garden courtyard. The aerial view shows the blue waters of the fountain with the shining gold leaf in the center as bursts of water are sprayed upwards. The house itself is set at the rear end of the structure and is nestled by lush greenery and thick woodland. The symmetrical accuracy is captivating and paints a view that's not easy to come by every other day. In recent times, however, the prince has come under criticism due to the strict anti-corruption campaign which he now champions, as well as the institution of strict fiscal policies. It has also been reported that some members of the royal family were cut off due to excessive spending. Therefore, in light of the discovery of his expensive purchases, which include the chateau, yachts, and artworks, people are beginning to ask, is this hypocrisy? And does it in any way affect the legitimacy of Salman's message against the misappropriation of royal funds? Many others believe that his purchases are worthy of a future king and will come in handy when the time comes. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss any new content.